What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Touchdowns to Home Runs. My name's Bernie. Thank you for joining us today on the Touchdowns to Home Run show. Hope that your day is going absolutely fantastic. Now, just before we get into the video, I just want to again wish everybody a very happy holidays. Hopefully you're all staying safe and spending some really quality time with both friends and family. But anyways, today we have an extremely interesting video. We're going to be doing a preview and prediction and sort of just an overall breakdown of this week's matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, we're in the last week of the NFL regular season, so this game has massive playoff implications, particularly for the Cleveland Browns. We'll break that down in just a second. We'll also break down each of these two teams' previous box scores, and then at the end of the video, I'll give you my prediction of who's going to win the game and also on the betting line, so definitely make sure to stick around for all that. But let's take a look at the playoff picture. Pittsburgh Steelers come into this game as the number 3 team in the AFC. They technically could move up to the number 2 spot if the Bills lose and the Steelers win. Bills currently have the same record as them right now, and they'll face the Miami Dolphins this week. But in my opinion, I don't think it'll happen. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will stay at the number 3 spot, mostly because I think it's smarter, more logical for them to rest their players this week. They haven't had a real bye week due to the COVID situation. They need the health. They need the rest. Rest your guys. You know, they haven't really been playing too solid at the end of the season. Lost 3 straight before they bounced back with the comeback win in the second half last week against the Indianapolis Colts. It's not official. You know, nobody has said necessarily that they're going to be resting their players. I just think, in my opinion, it makes more sense logically for them to just go into, you know, the first week of the NFL playoffs just healthy, rested, make sure that you're at the top of your game. As for the Browns, this is their make or break. Do they make the playoffs? Do they not? All they had to do last week was beat the Jets. They would have clinched the playoffs for the first time since 2002. Obviously, they couldn't get it done. Now, you know, they could move up, they could move down and out of the playoffs. Really, the team that they have to watch this week is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Browns could make the playoffs, even if they do lose this game. Should the Colts also lose, you know, this week, but they got the Jacksonville Jaguars, so my assumption is that it's going to come down to if the Browns can beat the Steelers or if they can't. Browns and Steelers have played already this year. Steelers took it by an absolute blowout, score of 38-7. Now, obviously, this game was under completely different circumstances. No playoff implications for the Browns at that point in the season. Also, Steelers were playing the best football of their season. You know, this was the time where the Steelers defense seemed like you just could not score on it, period. Nobody in the NFL could figure out, you know, how to beat the extra pressure that the Steelers were sending. I don't know if it's changed at the end of the season due to the lack of the rest, but I do think that the Browns, if they're healthy coming into this week, have a much better opportunity. Browns in that game obviously only scored 7 points due to that defense. Steelers offense was rocking, ran the ball well. They had 129 yards there on the ground, 148 through the air. But again, under much different circumstances for this game. Let's take a look at the Browns-Jets games. Obviously, Jets took that one by a score of 23-16. And you got to feel for Browns fans. I mean, I know some Browns fans. I've been to some Browns games, even though, you know, I'm from Toronto. You got to feel for these fans who haven't made the playoffs since 2022 and had a chance to do it against a team who hadn't even won a game this season until a week before this. It was not good. Now, I know they were without Odell, Beckham, and without Jarvis, Landry, and you can say what you will about, you know, the troubles that come along with having to score without your top 2 wide receivers. But at the end of the day, it's against the Jets. You had Baker Mayfield pass 28 for 53, and you had a rushing game who had 18 carries for only 45 yards. And I mean, the thing about the Browns is that they, you know, obviously they have a very quality record. They are a very quality team, but this offense has been inconsistent really all year, and it's being led by the attack on the ground, but they, you know, really haven't been able to get it going for the past 2 weeks. They'll need to get it going against the Steelers. I had no problems with their defense, you know, last Sunday against the Jets, but the 2 turnovers, the inability to get the passing and running game going, they're gonna have to figure it out against a much better defense. In terms of the Steelers, they had the Colts last week. This game saved the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, the Colts are now looking from the outside of the playoffs in instead of the other way around if the Colts had beat the Steelers. Steelers took that one by a score of 28-24. And you know what, a second half by the Steelers. You go into the fourth quarter, down 10. They outscored the Colts 14-0 in the fourth quarter. And I think they ended the game with 21 unanswered points. This would have been the fourth straight loss for the Steelers. You know, I think you got to feel happy with that comeback, you know, getting going. Should they rest the players this week, you have a little more momentum going into the first week of the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger passed 34 for 49, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Steelers 14 carries on the ground, only 20 yards. Again, they're a team as well who's had trouble getting the running game going for the past few weeks. We'll see who they rest this week if they get it going this week, but definitely need to get it going come the playoffs down the line as well. Steelers defense still looks good. I mean, only allowed 24 points. They really figured it out, only allowed 3 points in the second half. Gonna have to be a little more unpredictable. I feel like, you know, they did some stuff really, really well at the beginning of the season, which was sending that extra pressure towards the quarterbacks. They got to be able to mix it in a bit more, you know. Hopefully they can figure it out for the first week of the playoffs. In terms of the betting lines, Cleveland opens this game as a -7.5 point favorites. Do not get fooled. Keep in mind that the Steelers will be resting their guys. You have a Cleveland Browns team who A, is coming off a very embarrassing loss, but also B, desperately needs this game. Take the Browns 7.5. I would chuck my money on that. As for the over-under 44, I mean, it's tough. Again, I think the Steelers just will not be on their game because they're resting their guys. I don't know who's going to be healthy. I don't know if Jarvis Landry is going to be back for this game. I see him still on the injured report as questionable. So I think it comes down to, you know, the weapons that the Browns have on the offense. But again, Steelers should be resting their guys. So it should be a bit of an easier time this week for the Browns. I would probably wait to bet the over-under, but I would probably lean towards the over as of now. And then also -350 on the money line. If you bet that, bet the Browns, but I don't think there's any value there, so I'd probably stay off it. But anyways, if you made it to this point in the video, I want to hear your thoughts, you know, on the playoff picture. What do you think the Steelers, Browns are going to do in the playoffs? Do you even think the Browns are going to make it and win this game? I want to hear it all down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to Touchdowns to Home Runs. We'll be covering the NFL playoffs, so, you know, if you're an NFL fan, you're a Steelers, you're a Browns fan, all the content for you is right here on Touchdowns to Home Runs, so hit that subscribe button. And again, if you made it to this point in the video, just thank you so much for watching. Have a very happy holidays, and I hope to see you again next time.